Hey everybody, this is Mr. Lidkey, and I'm going to give you directions on the bird adaptation lab in case you were absent or for whatever reason you weren't able to complete it in class. So the primary objective of the lab, like it says, is to provide examples of how natural selection has developed adaptations in birds, which helps them to utilize a particular niche. And then, of course, niche is a vocabulary word. The definition being it's the role the organism fills in the biological community, where you can kind of think about it like its job. And then, of course, a little review of the definition of adaptation. So any characteristic that makes an organism more likely to survive and reproduce is an example of an adaptation. All right, so if we look at what we're going to need, so you're going to need the lab document sheet. You'll need bird information sheets, which you can click that link, and then you're going to need the images that are provided in the slideshow. Okay, so if we take a look at the actual lab document sheet, so here it is right here. So what we notice is the birds are grouped into pairs, and eventually we'll kind of compare them because there are similarities and differences between these birds. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need the scientific name of the bird, and you are going to get that from the bird information sheet here. So if you look at scientific name of the rough-legged hawk, here it is. And of course, like we noticed that the first part of the scientific name is Buteo, which matches the genus that it's in. So the first part of all scientific names is the genus, and then the second part of the scientific name is its species identifier. Okay, so then if we look at preferred habitat, diet, nesting location, and materials, we notice up here that there are choices for you. So you read the bird information sheet and then choose from these choices. Okay, you'll also need to figure out, is it long distance migratory? Does it migrate over 50 kilometers, which is about 30 miles? All right, so then when you look at the beak description, so you'll look at the slideshow, and if I pull that up here, so for example, if we look at the beak of the osprey here, so you can either describe that in words, or if you'd prefer to sketch it, either one is okay. But then the next thing that you need is what is the function of that beak. So that is also a kind of multiple choice. So right here, here's your choices. Is that beak adapted to tearing things apart? Is it adapted to picking things up? Grabbing would mean it's trying to grab something that's getting away from it. Probing means it would stick the beak down into something and pull its food out. And then scooping, kind of like using it like a spoon, right? So that's what you're going to put into the beak function. And then kind of similarly speaking for the foot description, you can sketch the foot or describe the foot. And then if you look at the foot function, so what is that foot best adapted to doing? And no, not all bird feet are best adapted to walking. In fact, some of them are very poorly adapted to walking. And that'll take care of the majority of your cells in the table here. Then the other cell that I got to give you some directions for here is the taxonomic level at which the bird separates from the above. All right, so what you'll do is you will get, like if you compare the taxonomy of the rough-legged hawk to the taxonomy of the osprey, you're trying to figure out what level are they no longer in the same category. But just to show you like relatively easily here, so if we look at the osprey and the rough-legged hawk, we notice that they're in the same classification levels all the way down to the order level. But then if we look at the family level right here, we notice that the osprey is in one family and the rough-legged hawk is in a different family. So then what we would do right in here is we would put family. And what you're going to notice is that if birds are in the same genus, then there are going to be many, many similarities between those two birds, and there will be few differences. So I think those are all the instructions that I need to give you. Of course, if you have any questions, you should let me know. But all right, thank you.